Okay, so last meeting, I mentioned to you that today we will be deriving analytical queuing models, yung mga formulas para makapag-solve tayo ng queuing system. So this is how it works. In any queuing system that you will observe outside, these are the things, as I mentioned last meeting, these are the things that you will readily observe. And we call this as inputs, no? These are observable characteristics. So now, you need to know lambda, which we defined last meeting as the arrival pattern or the rate of arrival of customers. This one, okay, so this one is the rate of arrival. This one is the service rate. Siyempre, if there are customers arriving, your queuing system should be able to serve the customers that are arriving. And this is your the rate of service that is being provided. And N is the number of customers at any given time that is in your system, that is in your queuing system. Okay, so these three would now be inputs to the queuing model or the queuing formulas that we will be deriving. So here, we will have a set of formulas. And these formulas will enable us to calculate these things. Okay? Ito yung mga tinatawag nating output ng system natin. Ito yung mga kailangan nating i-calculate, and I think these are referred, since it's a steady state system, as I mentioned last meeting to you, we're after steady state solutions rather than transient solutions. So these are the steady state characteristics of your queuing system. Okay, steady state characteristics of your queuing system. So the first thing, the very first thing that we calculate, I will number it. So once we have derived the queuing formula or the queuing model, sabi ko last meeting, di ba, there are 7 queuing models that we will be deriving. Iba-ibang mga assumptions nila, okay? Therefore, each set of assumptions would give you one queuing model. So we have 7 of them. Okay? Tapos bawat isa sa kanila may mga set of formulas that would enable you to calculate yung output mo, yung steady state characteristics ng queuing system. So this is the first that we will calculate. And then from here, obviously, we can calculate P0. Okay, that's the second. Ano ba yung PN? PN is just the fraction of the time. Okay, PN is just the fraction of the time that there are N customers in your system. Okay, kailangan malaman mo kung kailan busy yung system mo eh. And if there is a customer in your system, that's PN. Okay, of course, P0 is the only value of N where your system is completely idle. Kasi P0 represents the fraction of the time that the process or the system has 0 customers in it. Okay, wala kang customers, wala kang ginagawa. You're not busy. But if you have N is greater than or equal to 1, then your system is busy serving a customer or many customers. That's the first that you calculate. Rho, as I mentioned last meeting, is equal to lambda over mu. And it pertains to the traffic intensity or the utilization of your servers. Okay, the utilization. Kasi if you look at lambda, lambda is the arrival rate, mu is your service rate. So yung mga nag-a-arrive, sinaserve yan ng mga servers. So the ratio of lambda over mu will actually tell you how busy a system is, kaya traffic intensity. Pag lambda is the same as mu, let's say 20 ang dumarating kada oras, 20 rin ang nasa-serve mo kada oras, then 100% of the time, busy ka. Okay? So that's the traffic intensity. That's the utilization of your servers. Walang pahinga yon pagka 100%. Okay? Pero if your lambda, ang assumption kasi ng mga queuing models natin, the assumption of all the queuing models is lambda is less than mu. In other words, you have enough service capacity to serve all your arriving customers. Mas mataas, mas malaki ang service rate mo kaysa doon sa arrival rate mo. Okay, that's the assumption of the queuing models so that the system will not become explosive. So if lambda is greater than mu, system is said to be explosive. If lambda is greater than mu. Ibig sabihin, hindi kaya ng capacity mo i-accommodate yung lahat ng mga arriving customers. Right? So, we can solve rho or the traffic intensity because lambda and mu are both given. Walang problema yan. So, the third set of steady state characteristics that we will have to solve would be this one. Itong apat na to. Okay? That's number 3. And we will use Little's formula to solve for this. Ang gagawin natin, magde-derive lang tayo ng formula today for P0, Pn, at saka isa dyan sa apat na yan. Okay, isa dyan sa apat na to. Okay, and then the rest we will use Little's formula to solve. Okay, so I hope you get a picture of what we want to do for queuing theory. Okay, so if you have a queuing model, may mga formulas ka, mayroon kang kailangan isolve using those formulas. At yan yung mga steady state characteristics. Bakit importante ngayon yung steady state characteristics? Okay, kasi in the long run, if alam mo kung ano yung steady state characteristics ng system or ng business mo, okay, then you would be able to make better judgments and better decisions with regards to your system, lalo na in terms of resource acquisition. Okay? Steady state characteristics provide you with a description of your queuing system. Okay? How well is it performing? Siyempre kapag yung L mo, the average number of customers in your system, malaki, that's a good sign. Diba? Ibig sabihin, customers are flocking your stores to actually avail of your service. That's a good sign. Pero if LQ, yung average number of customers mo waiting for service, yan yung LQ. Basta pag may subscript na Q ibig sabihin waiting. Yan yung average number of customers waiting for service. Pag masyadong malaki yan, then it speaks negatively of your queuing system. In the same manner, if WQ, okay, yung total waiting time ng mga customers mo sa pila, okay, sa queue or sa waiting line, if masyadong mataas yan, then it means that customers may be dissatisfied. So by computing L, LQ, W, and WQ, even the W, if your total waiting time is too big, no, masyadong matagal, too long yung waiting time mo, then you may end up with dissatisfied customers. So pag na-compute mo lahat ng mga yan, it gives you a very good description of how you are performing in terms of your capacity to manage your queue. Okay? So if the numbers are not good, then it tells you, it signals you as a decision maker to make important decisions about resource acquisitions. Kung masyadong mahaba na yung pila, okay, yung WQ mo masyado ng matagal, at pati yung W mo masyado ng matagal, then baka you may have to buy a few paintings here and there in order to distract your customers, those who are waiting. Kung hindi ka makapagdagdag ng tao, then baka you need to acquire other resources para ma-serve mo yung customers mo at ma-improve mo itong mga steady state characteristics mo. Okay? So that's the reason why we have yung nasa gitna, no? Ito, yung queuing models. Kasi by having these queuing models, of course with certain assumptions, no, we cannot capture everything that's happening in reality. With certain assumptions, we can actually come up with queuing formulas that can give us these steady state characteristics that will describe our system for us in terms of performance. Okay, and based on that performance, we can now make decisions on resource acquisitions. Is that clear, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's proceed. No? So I think you have to be familiar with all of these definitions. No? At least ito. Yan. Okay, so na-define ko na to kanina. W. Basta't lahat ng mga to, steady state characteristics, long term. So lahat yan expected or average lahat yan. Okay? Average lahat yan. So yung L, number of customers yan. Yung W, waiting time yan. Average waiting time ng bawat customer. Okay? Pag may Q yung subscript, ibig sabihin, waiting time ng bawat customer sa pila. Okay? Sa waiting line, sa queue. Tapos, ito yung number of customers average sa pila, sa queue. Then P0, Pn, na-discuss ko na kanina yan. Raw, na-discuss ko na. Ang kailangan yung malaman ngayon is yung raw E. Okay? So, itong itong lambda E. Ang lambda kasi, average arrival rate yan. Okay? Yung lambda. Ang lambda E is the effective average arrival rate. Okay? Ano bang difference niyan? There are some systems where the queue is finite. Meaning, okay, ito finite queue. So, applicable lang itong lambda E, okay, itong effective arrival rate, kapag ang queuing system mo is a finite queue, meaning may maximum number of customers allowed. So from last meeting, yung example ko, di ba, there are some systems na hanggang 10 lang ang pwedeng pumasok. Kapag pang 11 ka, you will bulk. Ibig sabihin, hindi ka na papapasukin eh. So you cannot join the queue, so you'd have to leave. Aalis ka. Okay? So if the queuing system is such that it imposes a maximum number of customers in the system, then instead of arrival rate, ang gagamitin dapat natin is the effective arrival rate. Kasi hindi lahat ng nag-a-arrive nakakapasok. Kaya hindi natin pwedeng gamitin yung lambda. Okay? So ano ba ang lambda E? Lambda E, if you look at this one, okay, it is actually lambda, yung arrivals, lahat ng dumarating, lambda, isa-subtract mo lang yung expected number of customers who will bulk if the queue is finite. Okay? So ilang customers ba ang aalis dahil finite yung pila mo, finite yung queue, may restriction ka. Isa-subtract mo yon. So hindi lahat ng mga nag-a-arrive na customer gagamitin mo as input. Ang gagamitin mo lang would be yung mga customers na nag-join sa queue. Okay? Yung mga hindi nag-bulk. Kaya lambda minus the average number of bulking customers will be your lambda E. And lambda E will be the input para sa mga queuing systems na finite ang queue. Okay? Pero kapag infinite ang queue, lambda ang gagamitin natin. Okay? So you will see that lambda is equal to lambda E if the queue is infinite. Pareho lang sila. Yung effect, kasi ang assumption mo, walang bulking, walang magbabulk. Remember last meeting I told you, the queuing models assume that all the customers are patient. Patient means walang magbabulk, walang mag-renege, walang mag-jockey, walang magko-collude. Okay? So pag walang magbabulk, then lahat ng arriving customers eventually masa-serve. Okay? Kaya lambda is equal to lambda E. Yung effective arrival mo at yung actual arrival mo, pareho lang. Okay? So important yan ha. The two slides I discussed now are very important. So let's proceed. So I told you kanina na itong number 3, ito, we will use Little's formula. Okay, we will use Little's formula to solve this. Ano ba itong Little's formula? Little's formula is a very practical and intuitive set of equations. Easy to understand. So all you have to understand is this one. Ito lang. The rest will follow. Okay? So again, this one is number of arriving customers per, let's say, per hour. Okay? This one naman is the waiting time. Let's say in waiting time, let's say in hours or minutes, diba? Per customer. Okay? What happens if you multiply the number of arriving customers sa waiting time ng isang customer sa system? W is the waiting time in the system. Okay? W is the waiting time in the system. So if you think of arriving customers like this, okay? Ito yung lambda mo, may dumarating, ito yung queuing system mo, nandito yung servers mo, let's say nandito yung server mo, okay? And then may pila ka dito. Habang nasa pila ka, yung waiting time mo dito sa pila is WQ. Okay? That's how long you will have to wait while in line. Hanggang sa makarating ka, matawag ka ng server. So pag naririto ka na, okay, you're being served. So this whole duration from here to here, that's WQ. Pag nariyan ka, yan yung yan yung service time. Sinaserve ka dyan, di ba? So may time to serve you. Kunyari, pumunta ka ng McDonald's, no? Pumila ka sa linya. Nung turn mo na, mag-order ka, magbabayad ka, at bibigay yung supli sa'yo, bibigay yung food sa'yo. That constitutes yung buong service time. So yung service time mo, sorry, walang ano to, no? This is your service time. Service time is denoted by 1 over mu. Since mu is the service rate, the reciprocal of the service rate is your service time, 1 over mu. So, ang mangyayari, may service time ka dito. Kaya, yung W is the total time you spent in this system bago ka makaalis. Eventually kasi, after ma-serve ka, okay, after matapos yung service, mabigay na sa iyo yung food, aalis ka. Di ba? Assume mo lang, take out, aalis ka. Tapos na yung service. So pag umalis ka, tapos na yung waiting time mo sa system. So yung waiting time mo sa system ngayon will now be equal to WQ. Gaano ka katagal naghintay dito? Gaano ka katagal naghintay sa pila? Okay, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Okay? Tapos, i-add mo ngayon yung gaano katagal ka sinerve ng server. Okay, which is 1 over mu. Okay, kaya, ito yung formula na yun. Very practical, di ba? Yung total waiting time mo sa system is actually equal to your waiting time sa pila plus yung service time na naghintay ka rin. Okay, yung service time sa'yo, 1 over Q. Is that clear? So this one, hopefully naintindihan niyo yan, yung relationship. Ito naman, okay, yung waiting time mo, itong waiting time mo sa system, naghihintay ka, di ba? Kapag may papasok, every period may papasok, anong nangyayari? Kapag matagal yung waiting time ng per customer sa system, tapos may pumapasok habang naghihintay ka, nadadagdagan yung tao doon sa system. Diba? And therefore, the measure for the average number of customers inside the system would be, of course, a function of your waiting time and the number of arriving customers. Okay, so take note, if I multiply number of customers arriving per hour times the number of hours per customer waiting, magka-cancel yung hours, ang matitira, number of customers sa system. Okay? So that's why your L is equal to lambda times W. It will actually give you a picture of how many customers will accumulate in your system on the average, okay, in the long term. Okay? So therefore, L is equal to lambda times W. Kung naintindihan nyo L equals lambda times W from Little's formula, then the rest will follow. Kasi LQ is simply the number of customers dito sa pila. Okay? Gaano kadami yung customers dito sa pila na to? Ilan yung customers mo dyan? So, all you have to do is yung arriving customers times gaano katagal yung waiting time sa pila. Okay? So, same formula except that you multiply with WQ instead of W. Okay? And then equation number 4. So this one is okay. It comes from equation 1. From equation 1, you get equation 2. Okay? And then equation 3, actually, ang equation 3 is this one, di ba? Yung sinasabi natin, waiting time sa pila plus service time will be your total waiting time in the system. And then equation 4 naman, yung L equals LQ plus lambda over mu. Okay? You can actually derive this from the first 3 equations. Okay? So, from this one, L equals lambda times W, you can now have L is equal to lambda times W. Ito yun. Then, that would be equal to lambda times WQ. Use equation number 3. W is equal to WQ plus 1 over mu. Okay? So from equation 3, substitute mo yung equation 3 sa equation 1, yung W. So makukuha mo to. Okay? And then, lambda times WQ plus lambda over mu. But lambda times WQ, equation 2 is LQ. So therefore, L is equal to LQ plus lambda over mu. So you get this. Okay? So you'll get this fourth equation here. So the fourth was derived from equation 1, then substitute equation 3 to equation 1, and then use equation 2 to get equation 4. Okay, so yan yung Little's formula. Very important tong apat na to. Any questions?
None naman po.
Klaro ba, class?
Klaro, sir. Clear naman po, sir.
Okay, sige. That's good. Okay, hold on. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. So dito na tayo sa queuing model derivation. So again, tulad ng sinabi ko, the assumption for these queuing models when we derive them is that the customers are patient and the service discipline does not follow any of the disciplines that we discussed last meeting. No? Yung first come, first serve, last come, first serve, service in random order, priority service, preemptive, non-preemptive, tsaka round robin. It does not follow any of those. It follows the general discipline. No? But for me, I think the general discipline will still be predominantly first come, first serve. Okay? But again, sinasabi lang ng number 2, itong assumption number 2 is that the service discipline is general discipline. Okay, so we now go to the derivation of the queuing models. As I've said, makinig kayo carefully, no? Kasi importante lang maintindihan nyo itong case 1 na to, itong first model. Okay, kasi pag naintindihan yung first model, the rest of the models hindi na natin i-derive yan. Mahaba yung mga derivations but the principle remains the same. Okay, so There are 7 queuing models in this topic of queuing theory. So today we will derive the formula, the steady state characteristics, yung formula ng mga yon for the first model lang, for the first case. So notice that the derivation in your PowerPoint makes use of a set of, actually the queuing models in books, no? Yung mga queuing formulas can be derived by using a set of differential equations, no? Differential equations, which allow the determination of the state probabilities. State probabilities, ito yung sinabi ko sa inyo kanina, P0 up to Pn. Okay? State probabilities refer to probability of state of the process being in state 0 up to state n. Kasi we're talking about queuing theory here, queuing models. So, ang state ng process is the number of customers in the system. Since queuing yan, may arrival, may departure. Pag na-serve ka na, may departure. Then, ang pinag-aaralan mo talaga sa mga queuing systems is gaano kadaming tao nasa system. Kasi kapag napag-aralan mo yung dami ng tao sa system, then it would be able to tell you or describe to you gaano ka-effective yung pag-manage mo ng pila ng queue. Siyempre, pag sobrang daming tao, ibig sabihin, nag-accumulate yung tao sa pila. Di ba? So that's why we are concerned with calculating the probability that there's no customer in your system. Could be good, could be bad. Pwedeng wala ka talagang customer na dumarating, or pwedeng wala kang customer sa system kasi kapag may pumapasok, napaka-efficient mo, nasa-serve mo agad, bago pa may dumating, nasa-serve mo na agad. Okay? Kaya may chance na talagang zero yung customers mo in the system kasi napapalabas mo siya agad. Okay? Napapa-depart mo siya agad. And state probabilities would just refer to this one. No? So yan yung isa sa mga unang i-derive natin. Now, the state probabilities atong P0 up to Pn can also be calculated and derived using the following principle, which is what I want you to focus your attention on this afternoon. Okay, the rate equality principle, or what we call the birth-death process. So simple lang yung principle niya, ito lang yon. The rate at which a process enters state N is equal to the rate at which the process will leave state N. Okay, so punta tayo sa right side ng screen before we proceed. As I've said, we have 7 different queuing models. We will do case 1 first. Okay, naalala nyo itong notation na to? Before I proceed with the derivation, naalala nyo to? A, B, C.
Yung taxonomy po, sir.
Taxonomy, anong tawag dyan?
Kendall-Lee notation po.
Okay, so this is the Kendall-Lee notation. Very important ito. Kasi si Kendall-Lee, dalawa yata yung L niyan. Kendall-Lee notation, si Kendall-Lee kasi, yung notation niya, provides you with an adequate description of your queuing model. Okay, yung mga assumptions ng queuing system mo, nandiyan na kay Kendall-Lee notation. So in other words, by just putting in the symbols here like this one, pag binasa ko to, alam ko na ang assumption ng queuing system or ng queuing model. Okay, hindi mo na kailangan isulat. It's like ngayon, sinusulat pa yung characteristics, di ba? Pero kapag alam mo yung Kendall-Lee notation, mabilis. So ano ba yan? A, B, C, D, F. Sa characteristics, ang letter A is this one. Yan yung letter A. Arrival rate. So kapag ang arrival rate natin, Poisson ang distribution, ang notation niyan ay M. Okay? Poisson distribution or exponential, M ang notation. At ang letter A mo is arrival. Okay? Ang letter B mo is service. In every queuing system, kailangan mo yung arrival at saka yung service. So service time, ito letter B. Service time is exponential. So again, sinabi ko na, yung service time is 1 over mu. Okay? And therefore, yung mu is your service rate. Okay? So kapag exponential yung service time, exponential distribution siya, yung service rate mo automatically poson yan. Okay? Again, pag ang service time, sinabi sa problem, exponential ang distribution, yung service rate, yung number of customers per hour na nasa-serve mo, is automatically poson. Okay, so if mu is poson, then letter B would also be M. Basta pag poson distribution, M yung notation. Kaya MM. So pag nakita ko MM, alam ko agad, ang arrival pattern niyan, poson. Ang service rate niyan, poson. And then, yung pangatlo, yung nakikita nyo number 1 dyan, is ito. There is only one server. Okay, there is only one server. So, C represents the number of servers you have in your system. Okay, yan yung number of servers mo. So, kung 2 yung servers mo sa system mo, then ibig sabihin, 2 yung ilalagay mo dyan. Kung 4 yung servers mo, 4 din ang ilalagay mo dito. Okay? So, alam ko na agad, MM1, puson, and isang server. Itong letter D, automatic yan because lahat naman ng derivation natin would be general discipline. So that's automatic. Okay? And then, ito, letter E would be, may restriction ba yung system mo in terms of yung pwedeng pumasok sa system or walang restriction? Okay? Wait lang. Okay, so may restriction ba o wala? So ito yon. Letter E. Yung letter D, wala kasi general discipline yan, automatic. Yung letter E tells you about system capacity. Okay? If you have no restrictions on the arriving customers, wala kang dinagay na restriction kung ilan yung pwedeng pumasok sa system mo, then it means that your system capacity is infinite. Kaya pinapapasok mo lahat ng dumarating. Okay? So that's why infinity nakalagay dito. System capacity is infinite. Pag sinabi naman sa problem na ang na mayroong maximum number of customers allowed sa system, let's say 10. 10 customers lang ang allowed makapasok. The rest would have to bulk. The rest would have to leave and not join the queue. So therefore, kung nakalagay dito 10, then that's another queuing model. Di ba? And pag nakalagay dyan 10, that's the time you will have to use yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina, effective arrival rate kapag may nakalagay na number dito. Pero kapag infinite yan, lambda is equal to lambda E. So walang problema. We use lambda. Okay? And then itong last, sa Kendall notation, yung F would be your calling source. Saan nanggagaling yung population mo? Saan nanggagaling yung arriving customers mo? Yan yung calling source. Pag nakalagay infinite dyan sa Kendall notation, alam ko na infinite yung calling population. So ito yon, yung number 1. Okay? Characteristic number 1 is your letter F. Yun ang ibig sabihin. Okay? Input population is infinite. So again, you don't need to write all of this. Okay? Just give the Kendall notation and the person who's knowledgeable about queuing theory should know the description of the queuing system based on the Kendall notation. The description or the assumptions of the queuing system based on the Kendall notation. And of course, number 6 is an extra information. No? Sabi dito, bulking and reneging are not allowed, which we already know kasi the assumption nga is that customers are patient. And your system capacity is infinite, so walang bulking. May bulking lang tayo kapag finite yung system capacity natin. Okay? So, given these assumptions or characteristics of the queuing system or the queuing model, we will now seek to derive, tulad nung sinabi ko kanina, we will derive P0 and Pn first. Okay, or Pn and P0 first. And then, after that, we will calculate yung LQ, W, and WQ. using Little's formula. To do that, ito yung steps. Nasa right side ng screen nyo. So lalakyan ko ito ngayon. Okay? So, queuing theory formula derivation. Starts with, ang gagamitin natin instead of differential equations would be the birth-death process. So sa birth-death process, yung state natin, okay, your state would be your N, yung number of customers mo. Kaya, itong 0 na to, 1 customer, 2 customers, 3 customers, N customers, yan yung state mo. Okay? And birth, death simply suggests sa queuing system, there is birth, okay? Birth takes place whenever there's an arrival or an arriving customer. Birth means nadadagdagan ka, di ba? There's an increase. So if there's an arrival, then there's an increase in the number of customers or in the state of the process. Okay? So birth means increase, death means decrease or departure. Okay? Decrease, departure, or completion of service. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng death. So you will see here that there are arrows from one state to another state and from another state going back to the original state. So parang may arrow lang, no? May arrow dito, may arrow papunta doon, etc. Okay, ang ibig sabihin lang ng arrow is that a state can leave itself, leave, L-E-A-V-E. A state can leave itself, okay, if there is either an arrival or a departure. So example, nasa state 2 ka. Nasa state 2 ka. Okay? Para makaalis ka ng state 2, ibig sabihin, dalawa yung customers mo ngayon sa establishment mo. Para makaalis ka sa state 2, dapat may bagong customer na dumating. Tama ba? Pag may bagong customer na dumating, tapos hindi pa tapos servicean yung customers na nasa loob na ng establishment mo, anong mangyayari sa number of customers in your system?
Madadagdagan po.
Madadagdagan? Okay. So, dalawa customers mo ngayon, sinaserve yung isa naghihintay, isa lang ang server mo. Hindi pa tapos ma-serve yung customer number 1, may dumating na customer number 3. So, therefore, the process, your system will actually leave state 2 and become state 3. Tama ba? Madadagdagan ng isa. That's one way to leave a state. Okay? What's another way to leave a state? To leave your present state. What's another way?
Pag may natapos pong servicean.
Okay, if there's completion of service, tapos wala pang dumarating, so dalawa yung customer mo ngayon, may completion of service, then you will now leave state 2 and enter state 1. Tama? If there's a completion of service, yung dalawang customer mo, magiging isa na lang. So your process now will just have one customer. So you will now enter state 1. So the arrows that you see there are the process of entering another state and leaving your state. Parang ganon. So if you will see here, pwede kang pumasok from state 0 to state 1. Pwede rin naman ikaw, ito yan pwede kang pumasok from state 0 to state 1. Pwede ka rin namang umalis from state 1 papuntang state 0. Diba? If you have a departure. So pag may arrival ka, makakapasok ka naman from state 0 to state 1. Similarly, kapag nasa state 1 ka, makakapasok ka sa state 2 pag may arrival ka. At makakaalis ka naman sa state 2 papuntang state 1 pag may departure ka. So now, we model birth using lambda, and we model death using mu. Okay? So every time may lambda, may birth ka na nangyayari and therefore nadadagdagan ka. And every time you have a departure or completion of service, you have death or nababawasan ka at new yung ginagamit natin. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So what's interesting here now is that the rate equality principle is what is being used by this concept of birth-death process. So ito yung sinasabi niyan, the rate at which the process enters state N is equal to the rate at which it leaves state N. So I have a few equations here, no, for you to appreciate and understand the rate equality principle. So since state probabilities, state ang gusto nating intindihin dito, yung movement from one state to another state, then let us dissect by considering each value of N. Let's start with N equals 0. Dito muna tayo, N equals 0. How do we apply the rate equality principle at N equals 0? So ito lang yung guiding principle natin, itong statement na to. The rate at which process enters state N is equal to the rate at which it leaves state N. So you will see here in our very first equation, the simplest equation for the rate equality principle is when N is equal to 0. Okay? So take note. P0 means that the process is in state 0. That's the event, no? Ito yung probability of the event that the process is in state 0. Itong P0 na to. Okay, this one. Right? Kita niya? Yung P0 na yan. Now, when I multiply P0 by lambda, ibig sabihin lang, my process, my system right now is in state 0. Walang customer. Okay? Tapos, minultiplyan ko siya by an arrival rate. Okay? Let's say 5 customers per hour dumating. Okay? Or 1 customer per minute ang dumating. Okay? I multiply the rate by a probability. Of course, it will give me a rate. Di ba? Rate times probability will give me a rate. Ano tong rate na to? Okay, since I'm using lambda, the arrival rate, it simply tells me that the left side of this equation is also a rate, and it is the rate at which the process, the current process right now, which is at state 0, leaves state 0. Okay, why? Because when the process is in state 0, na dito siya, 0 customer siya, the only way for it to leave state 0 is if there is an arrival, which is lambda. Okay? Makakaalis lang siya sa state 0 at makakapunta siya sa state 1 kapag may lambda. But we're not concerned about state 1. We are concerned about state 0. Yung pag-alis niya at yung pag-enter niya sa state 0. Okay? Because that's the rate equality principle. So naintindihan ba yung left side, class? Yung left side is yung rate, okay, rate kasi to at which makakaalis yung process sa state 0 because of the arrival. Is that clear?
Yes po, sir.
Okay, let's go to the right side. Equal. Ini-equate ko kasi sabi dito sa rate equality principle, equal siya dapat to the rate at which the process enters naman. Okay? Ito yung leaving state 0. Dapat itong right side should be entering state 0. Okay? Question is, how do you enter state 0? You will enter state 0 only if you are currently in state 1. Okay? P1. Probability na nasa 1 ka. Okay? And then, there is a completion of service. Okay? There's a completion of service or a departure from the system. So if you're in state 1 right now, state 1 ka, tapos merong departure, then mapupunta ka at e-enter ka ng state 0. Okay, so sabi sa rate equality principle, dapat equal daw yung rate ng pag-alis mo sa state 0 at yung rate ng pag-enter mo sa state 0. Okay, so basically, Yun yung left and right side. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay? So klaro naman. So let's try one more example. Since state probability, since state ang concern natin, okay, let's try n equals 1 naman. Okay? N equals 1. Ito tayo. So look at this equation. I'm using rate equality principle pa rin. So ang left side, ito pa rin yun, except that state 1 na. Okay, hindi na state 0, state 1 na tayo, n equals 1. So left side, the rate at which process leaves state 1 should be equal to the rate at which the process enters state 1. So naintindihan ba kung bakit ito yung leaving state 1? If I expand it, this would be lambda times P1 plus mu times P1. Naintindihan ba bakit yung left side is lambda times P1 plus mu times P1?
Yes po, sir.
Okay, bakit?
Bali, pinag-add po yung rate at which process enters. Yung sa P1 po, tapos yung nag-leave po sa P1.
Okay, so anong ibig sabihin na itong lambda times P1? It is the rate at which the process will leave state 1 via an arrival. Correct? Pag nasa state 1 ka, ibig sabihin you have one customer in your system. Okay, one customer in your system. Right? Pag nasa state 1 ka, you have one customer in your system. You can leave state 1 via an arrival, okay, in which case, saan ka mapupunta? Kapag nangyari ito, saan ka mapupunta? Anong state ka mapupunta?
State 2, sir.
Mapupunta ka sa state 2. Okay? Because there was an arrival and you have one customer in your system, there was an arrival, mapupunta ka sa state 2. Okay? Pero, there's another way by which you can leave state 1. And that way is via a departure naman. Okay? Via a departure. Correct? So if you are in state 1 now, and there's a service completion, which is mu, okay, there will be a departure. And saan ka naman mapupunta if there's a departure?
State 0.
State 0. Okay? So these two would make the process end up in different states. Pero both of them describe the process leaving state 0. Wala kang pakialam kung saan sila pupunta. This one will lead you to state 2. This one will lead you to state 0. Okay? But regardless of where you end up, what's important is the left side of the equation is the rate, okay, at which the process will leave state 1. Okay? And there are two ways, via an arrival or via a service completion. So is the left side clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. The right side, same definition. The rate at which the process enters state 1 naman. So, do you understand why it is such? Nasa state 1 ka, okay, nasa state 1 ka, you want the rate at which the process will enter into state 1. So, how can you enter into state 1? Ano ibig sabihin itong lambda times P0?
Sir, from state 0 po, may nag-arrive. So, nag-move siya sa state 1.
Okay. So, lahat ng possible ways na makapasok ka papuntang state 1 dapat nakalagay sa right side kasi entering state 1 ito eh. So therefore, lahat ng ways. So one way to enter state 1 is pag nasa 0 ka ngayon, kunin mo yung probability tapos i-multiply mo with the arrival rate. Okay? So pag may arrival at state 0, then you will enter state 1. In fact, you can enter state 2, you can depende kung ilan yung nag-arrive, di ba? Pero ang arrival mo per unit would bring you to state 1. And in the same manner, what is mu times P2?
Bali yan naman po sir yung departure po from state 2, then papunta po siya sa state 1.
Okay, so again, magkaiba sila ng pinanggalingan, okay? Pero pareho silang pupunta at papasok sa state 1. Ito nanggaling sa state 0, may arrival, so mapupunta siya sa state 1. Ito naman, nanggaling siya sa state 2, okay? Walang arrival doon, merong departure, may service completion. Therefore, magiging mapupunta siya sa state 1. Okay? So, again, every equation, we're talking about one state lang. Okay? We're talking about one state. Right? So if n equals 0 and n equals 1 is clear to you, you should be able to tell me what the rate equality principle equation is for n equals 2. Sige, anong ngayon yung equation natin for n equals 2?
Sir, try lang po.
Go ahead.
Yung leave state 2 po ay lambda plus mu times P2.
Okay, very good. Okay. So there are again two ways by which you can leave state 2 via an arrival. Okay, in which case mapupunta ka sa state 3, or via a service completion or departure, in which case mapupunta ka sa state 1. But in both cases, okay, you will leave state 2. The process will leave state 2. So let's go to the right side. The right side is now the rate at which the process will enter into state 2. So ano ngayon yung equation, yung expression natin for the right side?
Bali lambda P1 po plus mu P3 po.
Okay, lambda P1 plus, sulat ko muna, mu times P3. So, class, tama ba? Process of entering into state 1. State 2. Okay? You will enter state 2 if you are currently in state 1 and there is an arrival. So if there's an arrival, this will now bring you to state 2. Or if you're currently in state 3 and there is a departure or service completion, then this one will bring you to state 2 also. So regardless where you came from, whether state 1 or state 3, what's good is that both of these events will bring you to state 2. If that is clear, okay, n equals 3 and equals 4 will be the same. So we can now establish the formula for n, okay, state n, okay, pero of course n has to be greater than or equal to 1. Okay, so following this pattern, if n is greater than or equal to 1, 1, 2, ito yung formula. Pag n na, ano kaya yung formula? Pag state n, okay, nasa state n na tayo, what will be the formula? Can you now derive the formula for state n? The rate equality principle formula for state n?
Sir,
Sige, Jason.
lambda plus mu times Pn.
Okay, lambda plus mu. Following this pattern, no? Kaya ang derivation naman is laging pattern lang ang tinitingnan natin eh. Okay, lambda plus mu, if n is 2, P2. If n is 1, P1 yan. So therefore, this will be Pn. Okay, equal to?
Lambda Pn minus 1.
Okay, lambda times P. Mapapansin niyo yung relationship ng n, tsaka yung subscript dito is always minus 1. Pag n is 1, this is 0. Pag n is 2, this is 1. So laging n minus 1. Plus
Mu Pn plus 1.
n plus 1 naman. Okay? So let us call this Okay, let us call this one, this first one, when n equals 0 as equation 1. And let us call this one when n is equal to n as equation 2. Okay? So far, klaro tayo?
Yes po, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, so ngayon, we will now use the equations from the birth-death process or the rate equality principle to derive yung formula for P0 and P sub n. Okay? So, wala pa tayong nade-derive ha. Ang nagagawa pa lang natin is, titignan nyo to, what we have done so far is that ito yung rate at which process leaves a state equal to the rate at which process enters a state. Rate equality principle pa lang ito. Dalawang equations pa lang na set up natin. This one, okay, ito, equation 1, and equation 2. Okay, we will now use equation 1 and equation 2 to hopefully be able to isolate Pn and P0. Okay, P0. Okay, so yan ang gagawin natin. So from equation 1, saan yung equation 1 ulit? Equation 1 is this. Okay, ito yung equation 1. Lambda P0 equals mu P1. Ito yon. Okay, from equation 1, I can solve for P1. Okay, P1 muna ako. My goal is to express everything in terms of P0 and then solve for P0 later on. Yan yung goal ko sa derivation. That's why from equation number 1, okay, which is this, I will isolate P1. So all I have to do is divide everything by mu. I will now get lambda over mu times P0, this one. Is this clear? Itong naka-box, klaro ba?
Yes po,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, divide by mu lang. From equation number 2 naman, ito yung equation number 2 natin kanina using the rate equality principle. Okay? From equation 2, ang gagawin ko dyan is to be able to solve for Pn plus 1. Okay? P sub n plus 1. Yan yung goal ko. So, this is equation 2. Mapapansin ninyo, kinopya ko lang naman yan dito. Ito yon. Okay? Same lang yan. Equation 2 yan. So, the next step would be to, ang ginawa ko lang, distribute lambda times Pn plus mu times Pn. Ito yon. Okay? You have to listen, ha? Follow each step. Okay? Then, yung right side, kinopya ko lang. Same lang. Okay? Next, i-isolate ko ngayon yung Pn plus 1. Okay? Isolate ko ngayon Pn plus 1. So, that means, ililipat ko to sa left side. Pag nalipat ko na to sa left side, i-divide ko lahat by mu para ma-isolate ko yung Pn plus 1. Simple algebra, di ba? So, this is what I did. Okay? Hindi ko pa pala muna nilipat. Dinivide ko muna ng mu lahat. Okay, pero pareho lang 'yon. Okay, so dinivide ko muna by mu. So lambda over mu na to. Ito mu over mu becomes 1. This becomes lambda over mu ulit. Sensitive masyado to. Okay. This becomes lambda over mu ulit, and then this becomes mu over mu 1. And then, in-isolate ko ngayon to, Pn plus 1. Okay? So, nung nilipat ko to dito sa kabila, tingnan nyo ha. Okay, so Pn plus 1, in-isolate ko na sa isang side. Ito na yon. Tapos, equal to this one, ito yon, plus this one, minus this one. So, ito yon, Pn minus lambda over mu, Pn minus 1. Dinagay ko lang sa parenthesis kasi may purpose ako. Okay? Pero, ito lang yon. Pn minus lambda over mu, Pn minus 1. Okay? So, clear ba tong equation na to? Clear ba class? Itong dalawa? Nanggaling to sa equation 1, nanggaling to sa equation 2. Nag-simplify lang tayo. Simplify meaning we isolated P1 and Pn plus 1 using equation 1 and 2. Clear? Yes? No? Maybe?
Clear naman po so far.
Okay, clear step by step. Okay, so next, what I will do now is express Pn in terms of P0. Okay, so ito, naka-express na to in terms of P0. What I want to do is to express Pn in terms of P0. So this is what we will do. Parang derivation ulit. Okay, pero this time gagamitin ko to as my starting point for the derivation. Okay? Siyempre, P0 na yan. Wala ka nang magagawa dyan. That's the simplest form. P1 is equal to lambda over mu P0. As I've said, in terms of P0 na yan. So, wala na akong gagawin dyan. Okay? Pero take note that if I transpose this to the left side, okay, then I will have this. P1 minus lambda over mu times P0 is equal to 0. Okay? And that is why doon sa equation dito sa taas, when I simplified equation 2 earlier, okay, at nag-transpose ako, nilagay ko sa parenthesis itong expression na to, itong Pn minus lambda over mu Pn minus 1. Itong expression nilagay ko sa parenthesis. Kasi mamaya, pag ginamit natin ito, makikita natin na itong expression na P sub n minus lambda over mu P sub n minus 1, such as this, ito yan, di ba? P sub n minus lambda over mu, tapos ito yung P sub n minus 1, itong expression na to, 0 lang yan. Okay? Equal to 0 lang yan. Kaya, masisimplify natin ito, mawawala to eh. 0 lang kasi yan eh. So, ito lang ang matitira. Okay? We'll go to that later. So, again, we are deriving the formula for Pn, okay, in terms of P0. So, itatry natin ulit. P0, P1, then P2. Okay? P2. So, naintindihan ba yung nakalagay sa P2? Saan nanggaling itong P2? Dito pa rin. Yan pa rin ang source natin. So, if you want it, then lagay ko dito, all of this comes from this one. Diyan nanggaling. Okay? So from this, we set up all of this. Okay, so P2 tayo, P2. Di gamitin natin ito. So pag P2, n plus 1 di ba? N plus 1. So pag P2, ibig sabihin yung n ko is 1. Para 1 plus 1 is 2. Para maging P2 siya, di ba? So if n is 1, then this becomes P2. So pag P2, lambda over mu, Pn. So Pn would be P1. Correct? Kaya lambda over mu times P1. Then plus Pn. So P1 ulit. Minus lambda over mu, ito yon, Pn minus 1. So n minus 1. So 1 minus 1 will be P0. Do you follow up to this point? Hanggang dito, class, naintindihan ba? Hanggang dito. Hanggang dito, naintindihan?
Yes po, sir.
Okay? So, itong line na to, nanggaling lang dito. Sinubstitute ko lang yung n equals 1 dito para makuha yung P2. Okay, once we have this, you go back to the previous equation, you know that this P1 minus lambda over mu P0 is equal to 0. Alam natin 0 to. Because of this one. So if this is 0, then this P2 becomes lambda over mu times P1. Ito na lang maiiwan, lambda over mu times P1. Okay? But lambda over mu times P1, alam natin that P1 is equal to lambda over mu PO. So therefore, itong P1 na to, pwede kong i-substitute yung lambda over mu PO papunta dito para maging in terms of P0 siya. Okay, since that's our goal. Okay, so replace P1 with lambda over mu P0, you will have this. So parang magkakaroon ka na ng dalawang lambda over mu times P0. Kaya lambda over mu squared times P0. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
next, kung clear yan, you can do P3. So P3, balik ulit dito. Okay, so what would be the equation for P3, class? Tell me.
Lambda over mu times P2.
Lambda over mu times P2. Kasi para maging P3, dapat 2 plus 1. So N should be 2. So lambda over mu times P2 plus
P2 minus lambda over mu times
P2
P1.
minus lambda over mu times P1.
1.
Okay? Tama ba? P1?
Yes po, sir.
N is 2, di ba? So 2 minus 1 is P1. Okay, so that's the equation. Pero, if you look at the previous equation ulit, you will see here that P2 is equal to, nung kinancel ko na to, di ba? Is equal to lambda over mu times P1. Okay, so tanggalin nyo muna, wala muna to, no? Ito lang muna, lambda over mu times P1. So pag tinranspose ko to, magiging P2 minus lambda over mu P1, di ba? Is equal to 0. So again, just like the previous equation, this expression here is actually equal to 0 from the previous equation. Okay? Kasi ito yun eh, di ba? Lambda over mu P1, pag nilipat ko yan sa side ng P2, magiging minus lambda over mu P1 equal to 0. So therefore, this whole thing is 0. So that means that you will now have P3 is equal to lambda over mu times P2. But P2, just like the previous equation, is lambda over mu squared. So magiging lambda over mu times P2, which is lambda over mu squared times PO. So lambda over mu times lambda over mu squared will now give you lambda over mu cubed, tama ba? Times P0. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you got that, then I can now derive the formula for P sub n. Tama? Ito na lang ang titignan ko. Di ba? Yung P sub n for n greater than or equal to 1. So, ito na lang. Ito, tsaka ito. So, if n is 2, this is raised to 2. If n is 3, this is raised to 3. So, therefore, the general formula for Pn would be lambda over mu raised to n times P0. Did you get this? And we have expressed Pn in terms of P0 effectively. Got it? May question ba? May question? Need to solve one problem pa. May question?
Walang tanong, sir.
Wala.
Sir,
Okay,
none
so
naman po
next.
sa akin.
Clear naman? Okay, so next. Okay, so ngayon, meron na tayong expression that connects Pn and P0. So far, ito pa lang yung na-achieve natin. Our end goal is to be able to have a formula for Pn and P0. Okay? So, sa equation na to, sa formula na to, dalawa pa yung unknown ko eh. Pn, sinosolve ko. P0, kailangan ko rin isolve kasi parehong state probability yan. Given yung lambda, given yung mu, given yung n. These are your inputs to your model. Okay? Inputs lahat yan. Pero itong dalawa, kailangan ko pa ng isa pang equation para ma-solve ko to. Nakuha nyo? So far, using the rate equality principle, nakuha natin yung equation 1 and 2. Tapos, sinimplify natin yung equation 1 and 2. Nakuha natin itong dalawa. Tapos, ginamit natin yung equation 2, itong simplified version, para ma-express lang yung Pn in terms of P0. Kulang pa ako ng isang equation. Okay? Kasi Pn, P0, dalawa yan eh. So, kailangan ko pa ng isang equation. Now, to get that equation, yung P0 na equation, I need to know that the summation of all probabilities, state probabilities, should be equal to 1. Okay? Siyempre, if you have a queuing system, it is possible that you have 0 customers at any given time. It is possible that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, up to infinity. No? Kung wala kang restriction sa system mo, it is possible for you to have any number of customers in your system. However, regardless of the number of customers in your system, we should know that if we calculate the probability, okay, bawat number of customers sa system, mako-compute natin yung probability. P0, P1, P2, P3, Pn. Mako-compute natin lahat yan. But the sum of all those probabilities, just like what you've studied in Eng.1, the sum should always be equal to 100%. 1. Okay, yan lang yung ano kasi probability distribution siya. You can never exceed 100%. Okay? So therefore, the sum of all your Pn's from n equals 0 to infinity should be equal to 1. Okay? But Pn, klaro ba to, class? Naintindihan bakit sum of all the probabilities should be 1? Kasi isang system lang naman yan, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Isang queuing system. So sum should be 1, di ba? But Pn is equal to this. So, itong formula ng Pn, ipasok nyo dito sa summation. Okay, so the next line will happen. Okay, this is what you will have. Okay, so Pn, representation ng lambda over mu raised to n times P0 equal to 1. Now, you will see that P0 na lang yung natitira dito. Okay, P0 na lang natitira sa equation. Pero may summation eh. So hindi natin agad-agad madederive yung formula. But it is important to note that this summation here on the left side, okay, it is important to note that this one represents a geometric series. Kung naalala nyo sa Indomat at saka Imemat ninyo, okay, marami kayong iba-ibang series na pinag-aralan. You have arithmetic progression or arithmetic series. You have geometric progression, geometric series. You have Maclaurin series. You have Taylor series. Naalala niyo yan? O nabaon na sa limot? Anyway, whether naalala niyo o hindi, meron talagang mag-google kayo, may geometric series. Okay? And this one is an example of a geometric series where PO is your, nasa sa geometric series, ang ginamit na representation doon is A, yung constant mo. Tapos, yung ratio mo, yung common ratio mo sa bawat term ng series is your R. So therefore, ang geometric series is represented by this. Okay? This is your geometric series. Pag nagsasum up ka ng a constant times a ratio, raised to n, from n equals 0 to infinity, then that is the sum of a geometric series. Ang geometric series dyan is your AR raised to n. Okay, AR raised to n. Pag may summation, then you're getting the sum of this geometric series. Ang series, di ba, tuloy-tuloy yan. So para makuha mo yung sum, kailangan kunin mo yung limit ng series as n approaches infinity. You have to get the limit. And if you recall what you have studied, the limit of the geometric series sum is equal to a over 1 minus r if r is less than 1. If r is less than 1. Okay? So ito yung formula to get the sum of a geometric series if R is less than 1. So parang review lang to. Review lang sa inyo. Okay? Now, going back, since ang R ko, ito yung R ko, no? Lambda over mu. Then, following this formula, A is P0. So magiging itong buong expression na to, yan. Yung buong yan, summation of a geometric series will now reduce into, since lambda over mu is less than 1. Ang condition kasi nitong sum na to, itong A over 1 minus R, is that the ratio R should be less than 1. Since we know naman that lambda over mu is less than 1, kasi lambda is less than mu eh. Yun yung assumption natin sa lahat ng queuing models. Yung arrival mo, mas maliit dapat doon sa service capacity mo para hindi mag-explode yung system. Since we know that lambda is less than mu, then for sure lambda over mu is less than 1. So okay na, we have satisfied this condition here. Okay? So since we have satisfied, we can use this formula. Itong formula na to magagamit natin. So A over 1 minus R, so yung A ko is P0, ito yon. 1 minus R is lambda over mu. So yung left side ko is now transformed into this one. Wala nang summation symbol. The sum of the series is P0 over 1 minus lambda over mu, and that is equal to 1. Okay? Since my goal, sabi ko kanina, my goal is to solve for P0, then I will now have P0 equal to, cross-multiply tayo, cross-multiply neto, equal to 1 minus lambda over mu. Is that clear? So now, having derived this using the formula for geometric series, I have this. Alam ko na yung P0. Lambda and mu for a given system are inputs. Given yan. So masosolve ko palagi yung P0. Probability na walang customer or idle. Probability na idle ang service facility ko. Yan yung P0. Okay? 1 minus, ano ba tong lambda over mu? Lambda over mu, as I've said, is the utilization, di ba? Yung traffic intensity. This is your rho. Okay? Rho is equal to lambda over mu. Yan. Di ba? So therefore, 1 minus yung utilization ng servers mo will be the time or the fraction of the time that they are idle. Okay? Itong lambda over mu, yan yung fraction of the time na nag-work sila. Okay? So 1 minus that will be the fraction of the time that they're idle. And when they're idle, ibig sabihin, 0 yung customer sa system. Is that clear? So once na-solve mo yung P0, pwede mo ngayon i-substitute dito, okay, to solve for the probability of any number of customer in the system. So kung P3 kailangan ko, lambda over mu cube, given naman yung lambda over mu, times P0, masosolve mo naman dito yung P0. Okay? So if you want a formula for Pn in terms of lambda over mu lang, then pasok mo tong 1 minus lambda over mu dito. Substitute mo dito, you will get this. You will get this. Okay? So since Pn, okay, dito lang nanggaling yan, Pn is lambda over mu raised to n times P0. Ito yon. Lambda over mu raised to n times P0. And P0 is 1 minus lambda over mu. Substitute mo to sa P0. So ito yung mangyayari. Pn is equal to lambda over mu raised to n times 1 minus lambda over mu. Okay, for n equal greater than or equal to 1. So itong dalawa lang yung kailangan natin na formula. Okay, this one and this one. Clear? Yan yung state probabilities na sinasabi kanina sa slide. These are your state probabilities. Is it clear, class? Bilis ng oras, 5:50 na. Okay. Kahit walang sumasagot na clear, I will proceed. Sabi ko nga...
Yes po, sir. Clear.
Okay. Sabi ko nga, anyway, kailangan after P0 and Pn, kung maalala nyo yung input, then queuing model, then output na slide kanina, kailangan natin i-solve yung L, LQ, W, and WQ. Kailangan natin i-derive yon. So isa lang doon ang i-derive ko, yung L. L is said to be the average number of customers in the system. Okay, average number in the long term, ilan ang customers meron ka sa system mo. Okay, and to solve for an average number of customers, you can just imagine if N is your customer, parang yung sa N.1 nyo lang. N could be 0, di ba? Pwedeng walang customer, pwedeng isa, pwedeng dalawa, and so on. Okay? Tapos, bawat number of customer na meron kang fx or probability. So yan yung Pn. Okay? This is like in your N., this is like your x, this is like your fx, kung maalala ninyo. So this is therefore P0, P1, P2, and so on. So, how did you compute average of x in N.1? E of x, expected x, how did you compute?
For x times the probability.
Ano na?
For x
Times the probability, di ba? X times the probability plus x times the probability. And so summation of x times fx, tama?
Yes, sir.
Okay, summation of x times fx. So in this case, if I want to get the average, average number of customers, which is n, in the system, then all I have to do is to multiply the number of customers by the probability, which is the summation of n times Pn. So ito yon. This is the one. Okay? So to get the average number of customers in the system, L is equal to the summation of n times Pn. Parang x times fx lang yan. N times Pn from n equals 0 up to infinity. And substituting the formula for Pn from what we derived earlier, okay, ito, Pn, this becomes summation of n times Pn is lambda over mu raised to n times Po. Okay? So ang gagawin ko, ilalabas Po kasi is a probability, so it's a number, no? It's a constant. Pwede ko siyang ilabas sa summation symbol. So pwede siyang maging Po times the summation of, ito yan, L is equal to, lalabas ko itong Po, Po times the summation ay from n equals 0 to infinity, okay, n times lambda over mu, okay, Bricks, this is just derivation, mabilis lang naman yung iba. Okay, go ahead. Saan na ba ako? Where am I? Here, okay, L is equal to this one. Okay, klaro naman to, di ba? N times Pn, tapos sinubstitute ko lang yung formula ng Pn. Tapos yung Po, nilabas ko, n times lambda over mu raised to n. Now, the reason why nilabas ko yan is, again, may summation na naman ako. I need to use an algebraic identity to simplify this summation. Hindi kasi to, series din kasi to eh. Okay, this is also a series, product series. So the formula for n times x raised to n summation is x over 1 minus x quantity squared. Okay, so this is the algebraic identity that we will use in order to simplify this. So that's the reason why nilabas ko yung PO para this expression will be n times x raised to n. So yung x ko ngayon is your lambda over mu. So since I was able to express this in terms of this algebraic identity, then pwede ko na ngayong matanggal yung summation symbol at ma-replace by x over 1 minus x squared. Hence, from this equation, it now reduces to L equals P0 times, wala na yung summation, ito na yung papalit. Yung x ko is lambda over mu, tapos 1 minus x ulit, lambda over mu, quantity squared. Okay, so ito yung identity na ginamit ko. So now, simplify na lang tayo. Kinuha ko yung formula ng P0 which we got earlier, itong nakabox na to, 1 minus lambda over mu, that's P0. Sinubstitute ko dito. From P0, ginawa kong 1 minus lambda over mu times, copy lang to. Okay? Okay? Let's copy this. Then, simplify. Magka-cancel to. Magka-cancel na yan. 1 minus lambda over mu ang matitira dito. Okay? And then, divide everything by u. Magka-cancel yung u. Matitira lambda over mu. Mu minus lambda over mu. Then, cancel yung mu. Lambda over mu minus lambda. Okay? Did you follow yung steps? Last. Nasundan yung steps. Starting from this one, L, gumamit tayo ng algebraic identity para matanggal yung summation. Tapos simplify lang, algebra lang, simplify. Okay, and then you get to this one. Okay? So you can just follow this na lang sa bahay, sa recording. Okay, once you have that, then papasok na yung Little's formula, yung sinabi ko sa inyo kanina. Okay, so I'll teach you lang hindi na natin i-derive, wala ng oras. I'll teach you. So alam mo na yung L. Okay? So alam natin, since alam ko na yung formula ng L, masosolve ko na yung L. Pag nasolve ko yung L, alam ko naman yung lambda, alam ko yung mu. Correct? Given yan kasi inputs yan sa system. So I know this, I have a formula for this, I can solve LQ. Tama?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So pag masolve ko na yung LQ from this equation, pwede ko na ipasok dito. Alam ko na yung LQ, alam ko yung lambda, masosolve ko na yung WQ. Okay? Pag nasolve ko na yung WQ, alam ko yung WQ, alam ko yung mu, masosolve ko na yung W. Kuha niya? Or, another way to look at it, mas madali, alam ko yung L, pasok ko dito, alam ko yung lambda, masosolve ko yung W. Pag masolve ko yung W, alam ko yung W, alam ko to, masosolve ko yung WQ. Masolve ko yung WQ, alam ko to, masosolve ko yung LQ. Nakuha niyo? So all you need is one. A formula for one in terms of lambda and mu kasi yan yung given sa problem palagi. Okay? So pag na-solve mo na yung isa doon sa mga steady state characteristics natin, the rest will follow using Little's formula. Is that clear? Klaro, class? Habulin
Yes,
natin
po,
to.
sir.
Kailangan pareho
Yes, sir.
tayong quickly lang, mabilis lang ito. So lahat ng makikita nyo sa slide nyo, okay, na-discuss ko lahat yan. Hindi lang ganun ka-clear sa slides kasi hindi step by step. Pero itong slide na to nakikita nyo sa left side para hindi kayo magkamali sa review, paki-change lang. Ito, P0 yan. Okay? Ito, PN yan. Okay? So paki-change lang para hindi kayo magkamali. Then you will see na pareho na yan sa mga diniderive natin kanina. Okay, so yan. Ito yung algebraic identity na sinabi ko sa inyo. Okay, tapos ito yung L, summation N, Pn. So lahat yan na-discuss ko na sa derivation. And then, gagamitin mo yung Little's formula. So in the end, ito yung summary. So rho is always lambda over mu. Lagi yan. Okay, so in the end, makikita natin that after deriving L, lambda over mu minus lambda, ito yon. Okay, that's it. And then the rest, itong ibang formulas na to, ito yung mga sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina. Pag alam nyo yung L, masosolve mo na rin yung W. Pag alam mo yung W, masosolve mo yung WQ. Pag alam mo yung WQ, masosolve mo yung LQ. Everything, as you can see, is in terms of lambda and mu. Okay, lahat ng mga formula na yan, itong apat, is in terms of lambda and mu. Okay, ganon din yung P0. Okay? Yung P0 natin, ginawa natin is 1 minus lambda over mu, or that is 1 minus, lambda over mu is rho eh. So 1 minus rho. Okay? Yung traffic intensity. Kaya dun sa Pn, kung titingnan natin to, Pn, this one. This one, class, this one. Yan, ito, Pn. Yung lambda over mu is rho. Kaya, yung formula dito sa kaliwa, rho, ito, Pn is equal to rho raised to n 1 times 1 minus rho. Times 1 minus lambda over mu. Okay, pareho lang yan. Ginawa lang niyang rho yung lambda over mu. So yan, nandiyan na lahat ng formula.